back, everybody. September is Sepsis Awareness Month. Did you know that every 20 seconds, someone in the U.S. is hospitalized with sepsis? And every 2 minutes, someone in the U.S. dies of sepsis. Well, Western New York hospitals had nearly 9,000 adults ages 18 and up admitted for sepsis just last year. So here to tell us more about sepsis is Univera Health Care Vice President and Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Richard Vienne. And Doctor, it's a serious situation, and I think a lot of people really don't know what this is. Yeah, so sepsis, Linda, is an overwhelming infection that affects the organs of the body. So it's an infection that just totally takes over, and it's the body's response to that infection that can lead to organ failure. So you can have the heart fail, you can have the kidneys fail, you can have the liver fail, you can have the lungs fail. So it's real important as an infection develops to get prompt treatment to it. Absolutely. So it's the inflammation that triggers an inflammatory response from the body that can rapidly spread and damage multiple organ systems. Absolutely. Okay. And that's why, you know, simple infections can lead to sepsis. You know, people think, oh, you know, I just have a touch of pneumonia. The pneumonia can lead to sepsis. A urinary tract infection can lead to sepsis. A skin infection that looks benign but starts marching up the arm or the leg, that can lead to an infection and lead to sepsis. So all of these things can lead to sepsis. So let's say you're being treated for these other things. How do you know when it now becomes sepsis? Yeah, if you start having high fevers, chills, rigors where you're shaking chills, you've got confusion, disorientation. So if you're a caretaker and you know somebody's not been feeling well recently and they get a little confused or disoriented, those are important things to consider, as well as short of breath, fast heart rates, things like that. So it's kind of a combination of the symptoms, not a singular symptom, but you got to pay attention. When might most people be vulnerable to getting sepsis? They're mostly vulnerable if they had an infection and they're just at the tail end of treatment. Sometimes people don't finish their antibiotics. Oh, I feel well right now, so I'm going to save those antibiotics for the next time. But, you know, our new invasive medical procedures put people at risk. We have new drugs out there that can put people at risk because they immune compromise people. We've got catheters, we've got central lines, we've got things for chemotherapy. These are all things that can lead to. So medical procedures put you at risk, surgeries put you at risk, and if you've had a recent infection, it puts you at risk for sepsis. Can we, though, successfully treat it? We can. Early intervention is key. So when you're not feeling right, get to the doctor. Get this checked out. If you can get prompt antibiotics and you can get prompt fluids, this can be very treatable. Well, I'll tell you, I'm learning a lot about this, and I know our audience is probably surprised, but let me tell you, sepsis deaths in the U.S. exceed breast cancer, prostate cancer, and AIDS combined, with over 1.7 million cases and 270,000 deaths from sepsis. You can see why we have a month devoted to it, and its awareness. So thank you for bringing this to our attention, because again, we're forewarned, we're forearmed with something like this. Yeah, you're very welcome, and I hope the listeners really appreciate the message we're trying to push out. Absolutely. We want to thank Dr. Richard Vienne, who we see every month here on AM Buffalo. Listen, if you would like more information about this or any of our AM Buffalo Univera Healthcare topics, we invite you to visit Your Health Matters at WKBW.com.